This was the first time in history we had seen a former president indicted on federal charges. And it seems like almost just as quickly and just as historically, it all goes away because the American people voted for him.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. We saw similar things happening last week as well. I mean, it's over with. This is a done deal at this point. Jack Smith said that it was categorical that presidents have immunity in these instances. It's not a surprise given that he won the election. Just practically, he would be 81 years old when he leaves office. It would have been about, 4, 5, 6 years since this all had transpired as well. So even from a practical standpoint, aside from just the immunity in office, it just doesn't seem feasible.
Yeah, and of course, in the New York case in which he was convicted, that sentencing has been postponed indefinitely. But he was a convicted felon, became one in New York, Julie, and ultimately he still was able to win the Electoral College and the popular vote. He effectively used all of these indictments and ultimately his conviction as a way to benefit his campaign.
Absolutely. They were always big fundraisers, too. As you remember, right after that happened, the fundraising email would go out and the former president, now soon to be president again, raising a lot of money off of them. But Mario, you hit it right there on the head. It's over. He's going to be president. There's clearly presidential immunity in these cases, according to Jack Smith. And so that's why this has happened.
Well, and as he is going to be president, he is quickly getting his second administration formed with a number of names dropped on Friday evening, prolonging the work week for a lot of Washington journalists last week, Mario, but including, of course, the one we all were waiting for, Scott Bessent for Treasury Secretary. The market welcoming this with fairly open arms today, it seemed. And that's really what Trump was trying to achieve, right?
No, absolutely. One of the things that I think that we saw is as much as Trump wants to be a disruptor in Washington, one of the things, if you remember from his first term in office, he often used the Wall Street and the markets as a barometer for success. He did not want to have headlines where he picked someone and then the markets crashed. Scott Bessent is viewed in the markets as having been quite sober, professorial as well. His background, I mean, he's bet against treasuries before, against currencies around the world as well. So he knows the financial instrument that he has at his fingertips now. So
he may be one that it will be relatively easier to confirm, it seems. For other choices, though, perhaps it's a bit more difficult, including the selection of former Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard to be the director of national intelligence. Yesterday on CNN, the Republican senator from Oklahoma, James Lankford, who, of course, is on the Intelligence Committee in the Senate, spoke about the confirmation process for Gabbard in particular. This is what he said.
Well, we'll have lots of questions. She met with Bashir Assad. We'll want to know what the purpose was and what the direction for that was. As a member of Congress, we'll want to get a chance to talk about past comments that she's made and get them into full context.
So, Mario, now that we've had pretty much all of these other high-level positions filled out, is it still her, RFK Jr., and Pete Hegseth who have the most difficult path to confirmation?
Oh, no question, right? So, I mean, the fact that Matt Gaetz withdrew his nomination, in some ways there's a school of thought that there could be 4, right? There could only be at least 3 of those less than palatable nominations that you send over to the U.S. Senate. But make no question about it. You've got those people, those folks in the Senate, Susan Collins, John Cornyn, Lisa Murkowski, others, who will have some questions about some of these nominees. Again, Tulsi Gabbard, when you think about the foreign policy record, RFK Jr., some of the more extreme things that he said about health and human services as well.
And I do wonder, his pick for Labor Secretary Laura Chavez DeRemer, who, of course, is a current congresswoman from Oregon, is getting some pushback from conservatives for being too pro-union. That might take Democratic votes to get over the finish line.
Getting some pushback from conservatives, but in this Washington that we live in now, ironically getting support from the likes of John Fetterman, right?
Yeah.
So maybe she will have some Democratic cover there.
And, of course, those are just for the appointments, the nominees, Julie, that do require confirmation from the Senate. There are plenty of others that Trump has named to be close to him in his second administration that won't, including the person who's going to be his border czar, apparently, Tom Homan. And he's going to be in your state of Texas tomorrow to visit the border. What are we expecting?
Well, he's making 2 stops at the border. He'll be in Eagle Pass. He'll make another stop as well. That is the first stop in the morning. Listen, I expect him to talk about the border. He's going to thank the agents that have been working there. He's going to be with Texas Governor Greg Abbott. I think him coming down here, though, this early is a way for him to say, I'm serious about this. I'm already on this. I'm working on this. You know, it's a statement visit right before Thanksgiving to thank everybody that's working on the border. He has a lot ahead of him, so I expect him to say that. I also, if he takes questions tomorrow, it may be interesting to see if he reveals any of the plans that he's going to make. Again, the former president, soon to be president, in somewhat of a honeymoon period right now. Not sure he is going to want to say anything that would affect that.